Kia ora, a really warm welcome to you all joining us from wherever you are in the world. Today we are having International Student Life at Otago. Currently we're sitting in our media production studio in the Dunedin campus, so beautiful facilities here. And my name is Sarah, and I work in the international department, and my co-host.
Kia ora, my name is Alba, and as an international student myself, who travelled all the way from Spain and decided to stay here in New Zealand, this is my 6th year. I'm really excited to introduce, but also meet our panel of international students. Welcome, thank you for being here. And we'll start with a round of introductions, so let's meet Sid.
Hi, I'm Sid, and I'm from Malaysia. I'm currently studying a Bachelor of Sciences majoring in Energy Science, and I love it here at Otago. I like to start my day off with a coffee and then head off to my classes. Some days I have lectures and some days I have experimental labs, and I definitely prefer the labs more. Outside of study, I enjoy hanging out with my friends and going to the beach. Can't wait to talk to you about my Otago experience. See you!
So Sid, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us, and all the way from Malaysia as well. I've got to ask, the jacket. What, the jacket in the video, what was that all about?
So that was for my class I did last semester. It was called Environmental Physics, and that day we had to wear these really thick jackets that they use in the Antarctic to get ice samples. So for that specific lab, we were freezing water and in an ice room in the science building.
Yeah.
And the room was, I think, negative 22 degrees.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Negative 22.
Negative 22.
Understandable why you had a very, very big jacket on there.
A little bit of the Antarctic right here on campus.
Exactly.
Yep. 100%.
So
Yep.
amazing. So next up, we welcome Joana.
Hey, I'm Joana from Indonesia. I'm studying a Bachelor of Arts at Otago after I graduated from the Foundation Studies. The study spaces are perfect because they are quiet, comfortable, and it's easy to concentrate. And I especially like the Central Library. When I want more action, there's always things to do around the campus, like food, sports, entertainment, and more food.
Warm welcome to you, Joanna. I love your journey through pathway into full-time study here at Otago, and I love that you've shown both the academic side but also the extracurricular part of your experience. You mentioned the Central Library as one of the amazing 7 libraries we have on campus, but what is it about the Central Library that you like?
I think it's just really close to all of the study spaces and all of my classes, so it's really easy to get to there. And there's also a lot of cafes and food there, and a lot of my friends go there too, so I feel like it's such a nice place to just sit there with my friends and like study together.
Fantastic. You're most welcome. Thank you. Next up, let's meet our first master's student, actually, Tia. Oh, my apologies. Lingling.
Hi, I'm Lingling, and I come from China. I'm studying a Master of Arts in Media, Film, and Communication. What interested me first was the peaceful vibe and the beautiful sceneries at school. In my spare time, I like to do mushroom hunting, volunteering at Otago, and exploring New Zealand. Beautiful sound is amazing. I'm so happy to be here at Otago. Join me!
Lingling, again, looks like you've done lots of stuff around on campus as well as off campus, but I've got to ask, you're volunteering. It looks like a midwinter carnival, am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, and what did you do?
I'm like a procession guide because it's my first time to do the volunteer things here, and that time just makes me feel like so happy because I can be with a lot of cute kids, and I need to gathering them in a line, and a lot of kids, they need to like hold a lantern, and it's so fantastic to see beautiful kids with their big smile at that evening. So even though it's very cold here, but it's very warm, so it's interesting.
Oh, love it. Well, that sounds epic. And now on to our last master's student today, Tia.
Hi, my name is Thea, and I'm from Denmark. I study a master's degree in sustainable business, which is a course I couldn't find at home. What attracted me to Otago was a vacation me and my family had 15 years ago. It was the nature and the people that fascinated me, which is why I chose to come back here. Outside of studies, I do a lot of different sports. I love climbing, I love badminton, and I love swimming.
Fantastic. Well, welcome, Thea.
Thank you.
Interested in sustainability and a lover of the outdoors. What a great combination to be here in New Zealand.
Yeah.
What are some highlights or go-to spots in the South Island?
So I've just actually been road tripping with my dad, and we went to Milford Sound, and that was also a place that we visited that many years ago on my vacation. That was really a nice place, but I also really enjoy Queenstown and the nature around Queenstown too. So basically just the west side of the country actually.
Yeah. Milford Sound is absolutely magical. It has one of the best memories of my time here in New Zealand, actually. So I agree with you on that one. Well, a very warm welcome to our panel of international students. Thank you so much for joining us today. Here at the University of Otago, Otago Whakaihu Waka, the place of many firsts.
Yeah, so brief intro about the university if you don't know. We are New Zealand's first university, established in 1869. And you might wonder, well, why is the first university in the city of Dunedin? This goes way back to gold rush days. The money was invested into education, and we have remained the education capital of New Zealand for over 150 years now.
Wow. Well, we're not only the first University of New Zealand, we were also voted the 5th most beautiful campus, which we're very proud about. We're ranked in the top 1% of universities worldwide, so you're here for a good academic standing as well. And we're very proud that we ranked top in New Zealand for academic performance, and that's thanks to students like yourselves.
Exactly.
So congratulations. But we're very curious to know, there's a range of different reasons that might have brought you to Otago, but why did you choose Otago? Joana, you mentioned that you started in Pathway, so do you want to tell us a little bit about your journey through Otago?
Yeah, so I had a lot of fun in Pathways because originally from Indonesia, you can't just come to university. You have to have like a qualification. So I went to foundation studies to complete that before going to university. But it was so much fun because I had a lot of fun with my friends, and the teachers there were so interactive, and the class spaces were so small, so it felt like a little tiny class and we could all just talk. And I feel like, yeah, it was just such a fun time.
Nice. And did you feel that you were part of being a University of Otago student in Pathway?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it's also like easier to adjust to the university when I first started foundation, so I wasn't completely shocked with like the schoolwork and everything, but I feel like it was just such a fun time in general.
Nice. And another undergraduate, Sid, what brought you to Otago?
Similar to Joanna, back home I needed a qualification before actually entering university, so I did a Canadian pre-university program, but I always wanted to study in New Zealand, so with that qualification I applied here to Otago, and yeah, I pretty much got it. And one of the reasons I also wanted to study in New Zealand was because my parents came here for their honeymoon once they got married many years ago, so yeah, it's always a country I wanted to come to.
Seems to be a bit of a common theme,
Yeah.
you know, like your parents have been honeymoon, you'd come here on a holiday beforehand, love it.
Is that what brought you back to Otago?
Yeah, it was. It was that vacation where you just got to see this amazing country and meet the friendliest people. And then when I thought about doing my master's, I just chose to come back here.
Fantastic.
Good to have you back.
Yeah, great to have you back.
What about you, Lingling?
Yeah, I came here just because of a video. Because I still remember it was like 1 year ago. Because at that time I was just in a difficult time. Because during the COVID time, a lot of Chinese people, they cannot get out of home. So I just have a habit to stay at home. And at that time, I'm just lying in the bed and scrolling through my phone. And suddenly I found a video. There was a video, I still remember the video was a girl lying on the grass, and there was just a river next to her. There were several ducks just swimming in the stream. Everything looks like so peaceful and so quiet. And at that time, I just think about why can I be like her? So at that time, I just tried to learn English and I tried to apply to this school. And finally, when I came here and when I work around our campus and I found that the picture what I saw in the video was totally in our clock tower. So everything looks like, wow, it seems like I work into my dream.
Oh, nice.
Have you come across the campus ducks?
Yes, but maybe not the same ducks in the video. Yeah, it's so cute.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, we have ducks on campus, and it's a beautiful in spring because they have their little ducklings and they walk around, and yeah, a big part of it. So all very different journeys that you've had here. I guess, so you've walked into your dream, that's amazing. For the others, is New Zealand what you expected it to be from, you know, your first thoughts? I'm going to start with you, Joana.
I feel like it was more beautiful than what I imagined because I knew coming here the nature was going to be spectacular because that's what I've heard from my mom and from everyone else. But I think coming here I'd never expected the people to be so nice and like welcoming. It feels like a home away from home, I would say.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sid, does it line up with your parents' honeymoon?
Yeah, they did say it was a very beautiful country, and I took their word for it. But when I came here, it was definitely more than I ever imagined it would be. It's just such a beautiful country. The people here are amazing. I've never once felt, you know, discriminated or shied away from people. People here are just really nice. So yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
Now you had a big gap in between your vacation with your family and then returning back to study here. Similar or?
Yeah, I would say it's, like they say, it's definitely more beautiful. And because I was quite young when I was here on my vacation, I couldn't really speak English at that point. So I didn't really see how much, how friendly the people here actually are. But coming here, it's just been completely amazing, and so many friendly faces and students that's just so easy to talk to, and the teachers are easy to talk to, and it's just amazing being here.
Oh, great to hear.
Lingling, you mentioned that you saw this video and it was all so peaceful. Is it very different, Dunedin, to your home?
Yes, I think it's very different because actually just like what they talked about, every people here are so nice. Even though when you meet a stranger people and they will say hi to you. So it's very strange when we meet in China. But here it's very, I think it's very interesting and make me feel like, oh, everybody seems like so nice and you can be like, make friends with them. Yes.
So you're from Indonesia,
Yeah.
Joana. I also get to spend quite a bit of time in Jakarta, which has got a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
The difference between that and Dunedin.
Well, it's definitely was an adjustment at first because it was so quiet here, and it's like I think I'm very used to the bustling town, very busy, but I feel like it's so nice just to be peaceful and like quiet here because I feel like in Jakarta it's always like go, go, go. In here it's more like relaxed, it's like no pressure. It's just such a fun place to just be around. I feel like it's so peaceful everywhere and it's not as busy, but it's also like the students like I'm surrounded with makes it more fun and it feels like a big community. This town feels like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was actually recently in Jakarta as well, and I remember thinking, you know what? I will never complain about being stuck in traffic for 3 minutes in Dunedin. That's nothing.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
And difference between Malaysia.
Yeah, the first thing I want to say is the weather, 100%, because Malaysia's at the equator. We either only have rain or it's just hot the whole year. So an average day would be like 34 degrees, and then it's like that throughout most of the year. And then when I came here, it was really cold. Even in the summer, when I first came, I was like, this is not summer. this is winter. It was really cold. But yeah, I think that was probably the biggest change for me coming from Malaysia.
Yeah. And have you got used to it?
Yeah, I've definitely gotten used to it this year. Last year I did struggle a bit last year with the weather, but I think I've definitely gotten accustomed to it now this year. Yeah.
Nice. And Thea, you're from Denmark, so weather similar?
Yeah, weather is similar here. It's a little bit warmer here than what I'm used to, but the wind is so cold out here, so that I really had to get used to.
Yeah, we have very changeable weather, that's for sure.
We've got the 4 seasons in a day, but we do have the 4 seasons throughout the year.
Exactly right. Was there any other crazy differences apart from weather and just being a little quieter? Anybody?
I feel like just the nature. I don't get a lot of nature from where I'm from. In Jakarta, it's all just like buildings and like, which is also nice, I feel like. But I feel like the nature just makes you feel peaceful. It's like, I don't know, I could just sit there for hours, I feel like,
Nice, nice.
And speaking about traffic and getting around, how do you get around Dunedin?
I walk mostly, actually.
Yeah, same.
Same. I mostly just walk everywhere.
So when we're talking about walking, because I know, especially in Jakarta, people don't really walk anywhere apart from shopping malls, I've discovered. When you're walking, does it feel hard?
No.
Not really,
And is that because of the distances you're walking, or is it on flat, or?
I mean, I'm used to quite flat landscape from Copenhagen. But I'm used to biking a lot in Copenhagen, so because I don't have a bike here, I chose to walk everywhere. And it's just, for me, it's just easier, mostly because I'm used to a bit more effective public transport system. So for me, it's going to be the same amount of time going to the bus, waiting for the bus, and going where I want to than just walking if it's just downtown anyway.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a very easily walkable city as well. And because the campus and city centre are on that flat part of Dunedin, it makes it very easy. But even the people that get to live in the neighborhoods that are a little bit more on the hills, that gives such beautiful perspective onto the peninsula. So lucky for the ones on the flat walkers. But yeah, and if you, do any of you have a bike?
I don't.
No,
have
I
one,
don't.
no.
Yeah.
There's a couple of places you can get secondhand bikes around campus. In fact, in town and campus, but on campus we have Teoraka, the sustainability house, where you can pick up a secondhand bike and maybe try out that cycleway that's recently been refurbished that connects Dunedin to Portobello and Port Chalmers, and you can do a whole little loop. It's a great little weekend activity.
Nice.
Make note of that.
So you've heard about us being the student capital, which you know because we're full of students, great student vibe, but we're also the wildlife capital of New Zealand, which we have touched on it briefly, with amazing access to the outdoors and nature. So we are going to learn a little bit more of that and a sneak peek of what Dunedin has to offer.
Fantastic scenery around Dunedin, beautiful throughout all the seasons. We could see that incredible wildlife. Have you been lucky enough to spot some wildlife in your time here?
Yep, I've managed to see some seals and some penguins. This one time last year, actually, me and a couple of my friends who were here on exchange, we actually went down to Allen's Beach to look for the yellow-eyed penguins, because that's where they normally are.
Rarest penguin, isn't it?
One of the rarest penguins, And it was dark when we were coming back, and something really funny happened. We didn't actually realize that there was a seal behind us, coming right at us. So
in the dark?
Yeah, in the dark. So that was a really interesting experience. Yep.
And how did you confront the situation?
None of us were aware that there was a seal behind us except one of my friends, and he kind of nudged at us being, guys, do you see something behind us? Like 3 times we all dismissed him, and then I turned my flash around and there's this huge seal just coming right at us. So we all started running away.
I have had a similar experience in Allen's Beach. So our wildlife is protected. We do have to be 20 metres away from them unless you realise you're not. And all of a sudden it's like, wow! But they are beautiful. And they are all on our beaches, right? You can see them anywhere. Has anybody been lucky enough to see penguins yet?
No, I've
No,
gone hunting
not
for
really.
them.
Yeah,
Okay.
hopefully soon.
Yeah, I'll give you some top tips after this because the little blues are amazing. So yeah, all good on that. Okay, so we've talked about the wildlife, we've talked about outdoors. Let's talk a little bit now about campus and studying, because that's probably what most people are, want to listen to today. So Sid, we're going to start with you again because I love that jacket and the Antarctica experience. But you're obviously doing energy science, very future forward degree. So can you talk a little bit about your lecture size, what your labs are like, and maybe your tutorial groups to give people an idea of what it's like to study science in New Zealand?
Yeah, so energy science, I would say here at Otago is it's a pretty small classroom size, has a pretty small classroom size. In first year, however, because everyone does similar papers, so the classes were huge. I did physics and math papers, which a lot of people were taking, and they had like 300 people, 200 people. And then this year, now that I'm in second year, the classes have gotten a lot smaller because there's more specialized papers with what you're actually doing with your degree. And
so when you say 300, would that be 300 in a lecture theatre?
Yes, in a lecture theatre. And then when it gets to tutorials and practicals, it's about maybe 20 to 30 people, and you work in groups. So then you actually get to meet people. Yeah.
And would you be with that same tutorial group throughout the year for that paper?
You'd be with the same people in the class, but your groups get mixed up each tutorial, so you get to meet different people.
Fantastic. So lots of different ideas bouncing around. Yeah. Yeah. And Joanna, for you being undergraduate as well, what sort of size are your lectures?
It's pretty big as well, because I would say psychology is a pretty big paper, especially like Sid said in first year. I feel like a lot of people do take psych for like interest papers. So I feel like it's really big, and we usually do it in the St. David's lecture, which is huge. It fits like almost 500-ish people. So yeah, it's really nice to see and like meet a lot of different people there.
Yeah, yeah. And similar size tutorial classes?
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when it comes to doing assignments, how do the assignments work?
I think it's just pretty straightforward. They would give us all the files, and they would just tell us what to do and what to put it in, and then we'll probably turn it in, which is what the campus uses, through Blackboard. I think everything's just like organized in Blackboard, so I think it's really easy to just get organized with it.
And do you have a mix of exams, group study papers? Do you have to give presentations?
Yeah, we do some of like little bits of that. I haven't done a presentation for mine. I don't know about Sid, maybe?
Yeah, I haven't personally done a presentation for mine, but I have had midterms before. Yeah, and small group projects that contribute to our final grade, so yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Postgrad.
Yeah, well, any differences from what we've just heard in terms of class sizes for the postgrad students with us?
Well, my program is not that big. We're only, I think, about 15 people on campus, so it's quite small, and we don't have any midterms exams, so we only have assignments and group projects and stuff like this. Yeah, so it's just a lot smaller, a lot more intimate. It's not really lecture halls, it's just smaller classrooms, and we sit there together and have a lot of discussions and stuff.
Fantastic. And a big mix of students within that,
Yeah,
different
so
backgrounds.
especially in mine, we're quite a lot of international students. I think we're only 3 in New Zealand students actually, and the rest is international in some way. So we're a wide range of people.
Fantastic. And Lingling, what about your postgrad studies?
Yeah, now our department is not too big. So usually in our class is only like 4 to 5 students. So every class you need to pay attention to what professor's talking, because you may have no idea what questions he will answer you. So yeah, every class we need to 3 hours for one class, for one paper. So you need to pay attention for 3 hours long time. Yeah, but I think the class itself is very interesting, because my English is not very well. So every time when I on my class and the professor, he will just take care of me, and other classmates, they will take care of me, and they can speak in a very clear way and slow way.
Nice.
So yeah, it's very good.
Fantastic. So from an undergrad perspective, we talked about the big lectures, the smaller tutorials. What about when you're doing your lab stuff and your experiments. Share a little bit about that.
Yeah, for me, because I have a lot of labs because it's a science degree. So in our labs, it's about maybe a quarter of the class, so like maybe 10 people. So then we each get into groups of 2 and we have to work on a really long experiment. Last semester, my labs were 4 hours long. So they run pretty long and we do multiple experiments in one lab time frame, so it's not just one. But I would say you don't really feel the time pass by because you're actually having so much fun doing the experiments and they're really fun to do. Yeah.
I was going to ask, actually, does it feel like 4 hours or is it?
Not really, to be honest, yeah. It doesn't really feel like 4 hours.
You do get a break in 4 hours though, right?
No? I mean, while we're waiting for the experiment to happen, I guess that's our break. Yeah. Yeah.
And what about you, Joana?
Yeah, I would say I don't have a lot of labs because psychology is more like experiments. So we would just go to an experiment room and then we would do experiments in the computer or in the labs. And it's just so much fun because it's just a few like little experiments, like past experiments, and we get to be part of that, which is really fun. And I think it's like taking a break from just like listening. I feel like in lectures it does get a little bit like, I don't know, I feel like if it's just like an hour or two, I feel like the labs are like okay, and it's just very fun to just have a, I don't know, just have fun with your friends.
So you're experimenting on yourself?
No, it's not like
Your
that.
other classmates?
Something like that.
No, but it's great that you can complement that theoretical delivery with the very hands-on learning as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And for you, Thea, with your postgraduate studies, obviously there's a lot of listening to do and you've got good, but do you have more sort of hands-on learning?
Yeah, so for example, in one of our papers, we did a carbon footprint for some local businesses actually. So we got into some groups and we did all the calculations and mitigation strategies and set targets for them, and we were communicating with these businesses throughout the whole process, and that was actually really exciting to help them actually get this. So that was pretty cool.
So you're working with business on real life projects.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And that's great things for your curriculum as well, because then when it comes to looking for job opportunities, the fact that you've already had that kind of client experience and working with companies is fantastic too.
Yeah. So that's pretty much, I guess, what classroom life looks like. Is there anything else that anybody wanted to share or give some insight in? What about, what are your teaching staff like? Are they, I mean, would you call them by their first names? Can you talk to them outside class hours? How is that structured?
I would say mine is pretty informal, so we go by first name basis, and it's really easy to talk to them, or if you say something a little bit wrong maybe in class, it's like, oh, it's all fine, and we'll just move over. And it's really, really nice actually, because it feels like you're more there with a lecturer who's in your eye level. So instead of actually being very formal and you have a teacher that's like, oh, you have to call them by their last name and you have to put up your hand. Here in my classes at least, we do a lot of discussions and we just sit in a big group and just have fun.
Nice. Lingling, that sounded similar to you, the way that your postgrad works.
Yes, and I just want to share you one thing, because postgraduate class is very long. Usually 2 or 3 hours for one class, but we have a tea time. And every tea time. So I just remember this semester, one of my professors, he just encouraged we to be like some leader, be the tea time. So you can organize what you want to show your classmates in the tea time. So I prepared to bring some Chinese snacks during the tea time. Yeah, I think it's a great break time to communicate with my classmates. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Share your culture too. But bust the myth, do you actually have tea at tea time?
Oh, yes, yes, absolutely.
It's a New Zealand thing. Tea time is what we do. Joana, what about your academic staff at an undergraduate level?
Yeah, I feel like it's really nice that we also have like class reps as well, which I don't see a lot in like a lot of universities. It's basically just a student who's representing all of us, and they would get in touch with the professors or the teaching staff more formally. And that, I feel like that's just nice to have someone to talk to or to just come to if you have any problems. So yeah, I really enjoy that.
Yeah, similar with Joanna, we have the class reps, and then I also have lab demonstrators who are with us throughout the semester at our tutorials and labs. And yeah, we're on first name basis as well, and they feel more like a student, so they're always there to help you, and they're just super nice and down to earth. Yeah.
Fantastic. And have either of you done the peer-assisted learning at all?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did that in first year for my geography paper. So what it basically was a third year student who had already done the paper and excelled in it, was basically helping you with just like a few extra hours of notes and how to prepare for exams. Yeah, that's basically
Very
it.
cool.
Yeah.
So lots of support there
Yeah.
academically
Yeah,
and from other
academically, yeah.
students
Yeah.
as well. Oh, that's great to hear. So we've talked about the academic side of things. Have anybody used, or maybe not, might be too early, the Career Development Centre or UniCrew or any of the other support services, librarians?
I've used the career development crew actually the other day. They held a photo booth for your LinkedIn profile and a drop-in review for your LinkedIn profile. So that was actually pretty nice, just to have a second eye on your profile and see where I can actually improve it, because I am done in February, so I will have to look for a job afterwards.
And they host a whole bunch of events throughout the year for graduate employability and bringing employers on campus. So they've got cool expos that you should keep an eye on too.
Yeah,
Great team.
Yeah, there's a lot
Love
of
them.
stuff there, whether you're undergrad or not. And I think we talked earlier
Yeah.
about internships,
Yeah.
so they can help with internship profiling as well, for sure.
I'm really curious because I saw from your video, Joanna, that your love for study spaces.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about your favorite study spots around campus.
I feel like the central library just gives a lot of like space for us to just have. We have like groups of like rooms, so like we can talk if you want to do group work, or we can just, if you want to be isolated, we have like those little boxes, the green ones, which I'm sure everyone has seen. I feel like that's my favorite
Can I tell
one.
you a story about the green box?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, the central library is architecturally designed. The big silver roof space, that's actually based on the albatross wings. And the little green boxes are penguin nooks.
That is so cute.
So there you go.
I had
would
the
know
same
that.
reaction.
Yeah. Nature comes into our library
Yeah.
as well, and the white stone is based on Oamaru whitestone, so very local flavour to it.
Yeah.
Because our central library is quite big, right? It's like 5 stories high, but it doesn't feel big, does it?
Not doing exam seasons, no.
Not big enough.
Yeah.
And has anybody else used any of the other libraries that we have around campus?
Yeah, not the library, but the Marsh Study Center opposite Caroline Freeman, the college. Yeah, that's one of my favorite go-to places during exam season, because it's not a very busy spot. I feel like not many students go there, so and they have really good hot chocolate there for when they're studying.
I used to go there too.
That is a good tip, the hot
Yeah.
chocolate.
Yeah.
Nice. Anybody else use any other libraries?
I go to the Otago Business School because I am a business student,
Yeah.
and just like your library or
Yeah.
your place, it's a little bit more quiet and it's not that many spots, but it's really nice once you get a spot there, just to sit and have actually a really beautiful view at the same time too.
Yeah.
Nice.
We've got incredible facilities at the university. The libraries are a great example, but just in general, throughout campus, I invite everyone to have a quick look. As we saw, fantastic spaces, a bit of the old, the historical, the new, and innovative. I also spotted Unipol. Now that's our Center for Recreation. And for all of you that are interested in getting active, I wonder, are you involved in any sports or any group activities at Unipol?
I do a lot of different sports actually. I do badminton here with one of the clubs, and I do climbing in the Octagon, and also a little bit of swimming too. So do use the Unipol quite a lot too.
Yeah.
Nice. And how far is Unipol from campus?
Not that far. I think it takes me 10 minutes to walk.
10-minute walk?
Yeah,
Yeah.
5-10 minute walk. yeah.
Nice.
It's very accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else uses Unipol? Tia, obviously, big user.
I mean, I use it occasionally to go to the gym, and then sometimes I play badminton with my friends as well. So it's
Yeah.
really fun.
Yeah.
I also use Unipol has like little stuff that they can like offer, so like we can like borrow it for the day, and I've used the body board, if that's what it's called.
Oh, the
to go to
medical
the,
center.
yeah, which
Yeah.
is so fun. I bought it to the beach with my friends, and
Yeah.
we played there a lot, and then we brought it back to Unipol. So it's great to have that. Yeah, opportunity.
And Lingling, have you made it down there?
Yes, I like to play badminton there.
Badminton's very popular.
Yes, really.
Really
I actually
popular.
really like badminton as well.
Yeah, and it's not a big New Zealand sport. That's the interesting thing, and that's what the beautiful thing about you all being here is you bring that flavour into Unipol, and you
Yeah.
bring probably the most played badminton facility in New Zealand. Maybe, I think with you all there.
Yeah.
I've also used Unipol too. I love the fact that it's over sort of 3 to 4 levels, and there's so many different sports that you can do there, from the super competitive to the not so competitive. And Thea, I know that you are teaching swimming, right? So on the subject of competitive sport, because we have social as well, or fun sport, what's your swim crew like?
So we teach competitive swimming, and we teach up in Moana Pool, and we do, I think our youngest are probably around 7-8-year-olds, and then we have all the way up to young adults, and we also have different levels. For example, we do have the Olympic team going to compete in a couple of days, actually.
Have they left to go to Paris yet?
Yes. They had to adjust to the time zone difference.
So you've got Olympians training our pool. So I mean, I guess that's it. You can be any standard here in any
Yeah.
sort of sport, and you can get involved in it. So Moana Pool's a big. It's got diving and
You got everything up there. It's really nice.
Yeah. Fantastic. So it's
Yeah.
pretty much anything that you want to get involved in, I guess. I've even had a yoga stretch in there.
Nice, yeah. Well, bodyboarding, surf, I mean, we have a really popular surfing beach, St. Clair, right here in Dunedin, but we have like 24 beaches around Dunedin. Some better for surf, some others for wildlife watching. But I'm so glad that you mentioned that rental center, because it's a great opportunity for students to get access to the outdoors if they want to go tramping with a tramping club and they want to do one of the great walks and stay in one of the huts. You can rent your tent, your sleeping bag. You can do mountain bike riding. You can do so much through the rental centers. So that's really awesome. And that kind of ties in as well to the clubs and socks, because you mentioned that you're a part of a couple of clubs. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you're involved in with OUSA?
So I play badminton with the club, and I'm also in the tramping club, of course. And then I recently just joined the photography club as well. So I'm part of 3 different clubs.
So Tia has really adapted to New Zealand and already calling it tramping. So for anybody who doesn't know, tramping is hiking. So just to clear that up, it's a strange word that we have in New Zealand. So yeah, tramping club, fantastic. And how about you, Sid?
Yeah, I've joined a bunch. I'm in a lot of different multicultural clubs. I'm in the Malaysia club, Singapore, Indonesia, international student one, and I'm also in the tramping club, going for my first tramp this week. So that should be fun.
Exciting!
Yeah.
Do you know where you're off to?
Oh, we're going to Wanaka.
Oh, one of my favourite
Wow.
places in
Yeah.
New Zealand. I love
So you're
Wanaka.
really going afield as well. It's
Yeah.
not even within Dunedin.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Fantastic. And Joana, how about you?
Yeah, I feel like it's similar to Sid. I am part of the Indonesian community, the PPI we call it here, and I'm also looking forward to joining a lot of other clubs, like the dance club maybe, or we'll see next semester. Yeah.
Nice.
I joined the Chinese Students Club and Animation Club.
Oh,
Yes.
animation.
Yes.
Tell us more. What happens?
Animation Club, yes, that is a club. We'll have a lot of free food. Yes, and you can just gathering a lot of different people. They're so cute who found of animation, and we're just sitting in the room and we're closing the curtain, close the light, and watch the animation together. It's so interesting with some delicious food.
I love it. I love it.
So there's a great opportunity not only to create a community, make friends, but I guess also if you're in cultural clubs, to speak your mother tongue as well.
Yeah,
Nice.
definitely.
And do you celebrate any days of significance at all in the cultural clubs? Do you celebrate Indonesian Independence Day?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We do that on the 17th of August. Sometimes when it's not on the weekends or anything, we do it before or after. But yeah, it's a big celebration here in campus. We usually do it at the Link or somewhere near there. And then it's just like a lot of people who can come and learn about our culture, which is just really nice. Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, similar to the Malaysia Club as well. We have our Independence Day celebrations as well in August. So yeah, that's a really fun event that we have.
Yeah.
I think I saw a bit of Holi and
that one was for
in your video.
Yeah, that was for the Indian Student Association. Yeah, that was really fun. Basically, everyone just throwing colors and
Yeah.
just like a whole tie-dye.
We saw a little bit in your video, didn't we?
Yeah, I was in the video.
Yeah. I feel being Scottish originally, not enough colour. And do you celebrate Danish Day, Denmark Day?
There's actually not that many Danes here.
Yeah.
This semester I found out there's a bit more because this is usually the time of year that the exchange are.
Yeah.
But I've only met a couple of other Danes, so not really. A lot of Scandinavians though, and that's close enough. So.
Yeah, celebrate that too. And anything with China, do you have a day that you celebrate?
Yeah, because September we have a Mid-Autumn Festival, and I just heard we're gonna have a music concert to celebrate that.
Oh,
yes, maybe a lot
nice.
of people they just sing some Chinese song and to make some mooncake to celebrate that day. Yes.
More food.
Amazing.
I love
and we
it.
saw just a snippet of the Dunedin Chinese gardens that are here in the city. The Chinese New Year is quite something to experience in Dunedin. The fireworks are spectacular. Even more so than the New Year's Eve that is at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, lots of different things.
yeah.
So clubs and societies, obviously a big part of your life. How do you balance your academic as well as your, extracurricular activities that you do? How do you find that works for you?
I do kind of intervals of studying because I'm not really good at sitting down and study for 8 hours a day. So I usually get up a little bit early in the morning and then I start studying and then I have a break around 10 maybe, do a little bit of sports, then I come back to the studies and then I go forth like that all day. So that works for me at least.
Fantastic. We'll just go along the sofa. How about that?
For me personally, I tend to study more on the weekdays and then I just don't study completely on the weekends. So like on the weekdays mostly, if I finish a lecture, I go to the library, do my notes, finish up assignments, and then I pretty much go home, do a little bit more studying, and then that's about it.
Because I guess you're not in class 9 to 5,
Yeah, definitely
right?
not. Yeah, we have breaks, a lot of breaks in between, so I have my lunches, meet some friends in between, and then catch up on my work, lecture notes,
Nice.
Yeah, but I think similar to Sid, I just don't really procrastinate on the weekdays. I try not to, so I can have a lot of free time on the weekend and I can go out and everything. And it's just, I feel like just to be mindful of what your priorities are, and that works for me. Yeah.
So how about you, Lingling?
For me, every Wednesday I don't have any class, so Wednesday seems like a mid-break for me. Yes.
Nice.
So yesterday I just be with my friends. We went to the St. Clair, yes, and to see the sunrise there.
Oh,
yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So St. Clair is one of our local beaches, right? It's what we class as our city beach. 15, 20 minutes from campus?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's not
So,
far away. We can even take a bus to go there.
And there are sea lions there too.
Yeah.
And I have known for the seals to get in with the surfers sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
At the surf competition, they made a debut.
So wildlife in our city beaches as well. With where you live, do you find that easier because you are quite close to campus, that it gives you that extra time to get involved in activities and studies? How do you find that?
So I live in a uni flat, so I live right on Cumberland Street. It's 2 minutes away from the Central Library and 5 minutes away from the business school, so I couldn't be more happy about my choice.
Nice.
Yeah, I live in a private flat on Great King Street. It's like a 7-minute walk in and out of campus.
7 whole minutes.
Yeah, 7 whole minutes. Yeah, it's pretty fast in and out. Yeah.
And how about you, Joana?
Yeah, I think it's pretty similar to Sid because we do live close to each other.
close to each other.
Yeah, I live just in front of the dairy, just in Cumberland, just like Thea. And yeah, it's just a 7-minute, 10-minute walk to campus. And it's great.
Fantastic.
Seems like I lived in far away from school. I live in a private apartment, but actually it just takes me 15 minutes to go to school. Yeah, it's not far away, but just you're far away from you guys. But yeah, it's very comfortable to stay there. It's not far away from our school. At 15, perfect, because I can listen to some podcast and just work there every time. Is perfect.
Nice, fantastic. So we've talked a bit about campus and all the facilities that we have. I guess a little bit more about Dunedin and the city itself. What do you enjoy about the city? So I've got a favourite. Mine is Saturday morning farmers market, hands down. What about you guys?
I would say the farmers market is also really just like a little small cute town gathering. I feel like it just feels like that because it's just like a little small shops and it's all very unique in its own way. When I first got here, I feel like that was my first goal, just to go to the farmers market, just to see the little cute shops. And yeah, they had great food too. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely say the same. The farmers market, they have really good pastries and coffee. And I also love going to town with some of my friends on the weekends. You know, we just go have some fun. Yeah, just let off some steam. Yeah, from studies. It's good.
Yeah, nice.
I really like the art gallery actually, because I've never made it to the farmers market because I don't really get up that early in the morning apparently.
It's open till 1.
Yeah, bad excuses, I know. But actually at the rail station there's also an art gallery and it's really, really nice. So I like to go to stuff like that too.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I like New World.
Again, it's the food theme coming through loud and clear.
Yes. And you know what? Every day after 8 p.m. and you can buy a lot of discount bread there. After 8 p.m. Yes.
Top tips.
And on the topic of food, because Dunedin does have a lot of international food offerings in terms of the restaurants and food retailers. Is there a go-to place that you really enjoy going to in town?
I mean, I have one. It's called Mom's Chicken, which is like Korean fried chicken, really good. It was a really bad habit for me because I used to go there all the time last year. All my money goes to Mom's Chicken. Yeah.
I have one that's called the Two Fat Indians, and I really like that one too. A little more expensive, so I don't spend all my money there, but I really like it for now and then.
Nice.
It's really nice.
I go to Mela Eatery just in the Octagon. They have 2 spots actually, one in George Street I believe and one in Octagon, and it's also really good. I would recommend trying the chicken biryani.
Ah, they're the one who do the momos as well, right?
Yes,
good
really good.
momos. Have those?
Yeah, I would recommend Impressions. Have you been?
Yes.
Really good.
Still hasn't been there.
I tried the
So good.
Szechuan pepper chicken.
Yeah. Even though my classmates, they are just born here, they know that place and they recommend that place. It's a Chinese food restaurant, but a lot of local people, they prefer to go there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So lots of different
It's great food,
options.
yeah.
Nice. Okay, other things in the city. So we've talked about Chinese Gardens, which I think a couple of you have visited. The stadium that's right next door to Unipol. So we have the largest fully covered stadium in the Southern Hemisphere
Yes, we
at
do.
present. Has anybody been and seen anything at the stadium?
I watched a rugby play one time, which is my first rugby game. I didn't know how they played rugby, so I was confused the whole time. And I was learning while I was watching, but it was really, really fun because there was a lot of people there and cheering. You can feel the energy is just really good.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
So we've just had the All Blacks play. So if anybody is thinking about who loves rugby, the stadium is 10-minute walk from campus.
Yeah.
Really good way to go down there. And I think you said
Yeah, last year I got the opportunity to go for the Women's FIFA World Cup, which was down at the stadium as well, so that was really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty epic time.
Yeah.
For Dunedin to host FIFA Women's was amazing. Lots of different nationalities around. It was excellent.
And much like the likes of Pink, who came to do a concert
Yeah.
here recently, did you notice the change of the landscape in the city?
Yeah, everything was
Sunday
pink.
was
Yeah, everything was pink.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Same with an All Blacks game on.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
If you get the chance to see the All Blacks and that hack at the beginning, it's definitely a memory worth keeping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys are here for a bit longer, so keep that. Maybe the
Definitely.
next time round for your rugby game,
Yep.
find a Kiwi to explain it to you. I have to ask my husband. I'm like, how are they doing the rules again? How does this work? Alrighty, your favourite subject?
Thrifting.
Thrifting.
I am very big on secondhand shopping, thrifting, charity shopping. It's known for a number of things. But Dunedin, having so many students and being such a lively student city, has so much on offer when it comes to secondhand. I mean, we have one on campus, I mentioned it before, with the secondhand bikes, Te Oraka. That's our thrift shop right on campus where you can get secondhand goods for literally next to nothing, but really amazing finds. Whenever I get complimented on something, it's like, secondhand. Do any of you like shopping and
Yeah, I actually
these
love
kinds of-
thrifting as well.
Yeah.
My favorite one's probably Static Age on George Street. That one's really cool. They have some really cool finds in there.
Yeah. Really cool pieces.
I go to the shop on Carroll. Actually,
Yeah.
I really like that one. Usually also with stuff to donate. If I've had a lot of books that I read and didn't want to keep, so just go down there, and I always end up buying something when I'm supposed to just be donating. And it's so frustrating.
But so marvelous.
Is thrifting something big from your home countries?
It is. I feel like in Indonesia, but it's not as. I feel it's not as big there because the thrifting there is more like vintage shopping, so it's a bit more expensive. So when I came here, I was like, yeah, like the thrifting here is like really good. And then like Te Oraka, like I heard like you could just trade also. So it's not if you have something that you don't wear often, but it's still in good shape, you can trade it for something that you would want in the shop. And I feel that's really good to just let out your second hand.
Yeah.
Yes, I just like to go to that second shop because sometimes I can find some old machines. Yeah, I can feel like what people lived here in old times. Yes, it's just so romantic when I go into the second-hand shop. Yes,
I know, it's great. So we've got some questions coming through from our audience. Thank you very much, everybody, for sharing those through. So one is about accommodation. So Joanna, I'm going to start with you because you started with homestay when you did your foundation program. How did you find your homestay?
It was incredible because I had a New Zealand, like a Kiwi family, and they helped me adjust to when I first moved in. So they helped me get around the city, like with the bus, and they would take me to spots that I've never been to before. And they're just really welcoming. It feels like a home away from home. Yeah, so I would definitely recommend if you're just starting out and you don't know which accommodation to start with. I feel like homestay is such a big option.
Nice. And then after that, you moved into residential college? Yeah. So residential college, we call them residential colleges at Otago. I guess from your home countries, you might know them as hostels or dorms or halls of residence. Were you in a residential college as well, Sid?
I was in a uni flat.
You're in a uni flat. We'll touch on uni flat in a second. So we'll just talk about the residential college. What was the difference with that and homestay?
It was very different because in a residential college, you're more like living with friends, and I feel like it's so cute, such a big sleepover every day. It's just like you're like with your friends every day, and it's like you meet people who are the same as you. Because I feel like in homestay, I didn't really get to do that because I was more into it with my family, which is nice, but I don't get to share the same experiences I do with people my age. And I feel like it's such a good way if you're just starting out and like finding friends. Yeah, and I feel like I love the food there. The facilities was amazing, so yeah.
So fully catered then, 3 meals a day? Yeah.
Perfect.
Food was good?
Food was good, yeah.
Excellent.
So you would go back for all your meals?
Yeah, I would say.
Apart from the favourite restaurant, you know,
yes.
because that's obviously important.
Yeah.
What sort of activities did they do?
They have a lot of like weekly activities, so I think one time I didn't go because I was sick, but they had like a camping trip, and then they also had like sports day, like fashion week, fashion like runway day, and then like even like small things like coloring, painting, and like the dining room and dining area, wherever you want to chill. Or, like I feel like during exams is a very big time where the colleges would have events, so we could just unwind, and like when we're feeling stressed, just go down to the dining room, and then there's a whole bunch of activities to do, and I feel like that's really nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So you're in residential college. Where are you now?
I'm in a private flat in Cumberland.
Yeah. And did you move out with friends?
Yep,
Yep.
I had one friend, and then I had another, the friend of a friend, and it was a pretty smooth process. I feel like we found the flat from Facebook Marketplace, which is nice. Yeah, and
It's like a
not too
Dunedin
big.
go-to Facebook
Yeah.
marketplace,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's really nice.
Cool. Awesome. So big fit. And Sid was Uniflats, and Tia, you're Uniflats as well. Yeah. So do you want to let people know what Uniflats are like?
So I was in a Uniflat the whole of last year, and I had a Kiwi host who's basically a Kiwi who helps you settle in and shows you around Dunedin, all the Kiwi tips and tricks. Yeah, it was a really fun experience for me because a lot of the students that actually stay in Uniflats are all students on exchange. So you get to meet people from literally all walks of life, you know, from America, from Europe. So it's really good. And they always hosted lots of events, so you actually get to go for sausage sizzles, which was really fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you pick up some good cooking tricks?
I wouldn't know about that.
No. Tia, what about your Uniflat experience?
I think it's really good. We're 4 girls living together, and we're all here for a year, so we actually bonded pretty well. You do fill out a form explaining a little bit about yourself, what you do, what's your hobbies and stuff, and I think they matched us up really, really nicely. So I can't complain.
Fantastic. And handy all to campus, right?
Yeah.
And great to hear that there's social programming and events both in residential colleges and Uniflats throughout to get the students together and involved in the community. So
Yeah.
that's great.
Okay, so we're just realised that we have chatted so much that there is pretty much we are coming to an end of this. But I guess one thing is we've talked about some of the stuff, but the other activities on campus that we haven't talked about. So like I know International Food Festival was in one of the videos. Again, going back to food because that's a big part of life here. What other activities have you been involved in on campus?
I feel like just the market days from like week to week basis. I feel like it happens pretty often, and it's always something to see, and like live music, and it's just vibes. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. I've been to a lot of quiz nights. That's apparently something I like. I'm not very good at it, but I like to go.
And any of, because I know there's lectures and seminars and there's a whole load of other stuff you can get involved in, right? How do you find out about that stuff that's on?
I feel like it's mostly through social media, like OUSA's like social media pages, or the university would post about them on their Instagram stories. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Has anybody used the sauna?
No.
Not
yet.
No.
Have not.
I hear it's amazing. I'm now fascinated with the sauna.
I was not prepared because I didn't bring water. I left my jewelry on, which is not good in a very hot room.
Yeah.
The second time I went, when I was prepared for it, it was lovely. And also did not discover it until well into my time at Otago. So if you haven't been, you get a chance to go. It's a great excuse to escape the crisp winter colds.
Well, we're just about at the end of our time today, and I guess we just want to wrap it up a little bit. We didn't have much time for questions, really sorry. You guys have got great stories about what life is like at Otago. So we just wanted to say a huge thank you for joining us today from wherever you are in the world. As we didn't have time for questions, we have got some great resources that you can access, live webinars that will talk about scholarships, our programs, the support you can get here on campus. We have Unibuddy ambassadors that you can speak to who are some of our students, where you can get more information. Yep, hello Unibuddy student ambassadors. So please check out our website and you can learn a lot more about the University of Otago. So huge thank you from me to joining you.
Huge thank you from me too, and I think just a little handle to share with everyone if you want to get a true sense of what student life, international student life is at Otago. Follow us on the Instagram page, University of Otago International. So much of that content is student generated. You give us such an authentic view of your time here. We love watching what you get up to, and I encourage any future students to follow us to get a sense of what it's like to be a student here. So thank you for joining us today. Thank you to the Media Production Unit for hosting us in their studio. Thank you to the audience who's joined us online, again, like you said, from everywhere in the world. And we're very much looking forward to welcoming you on campus soon as well.
Okay, thank you.
Ka kite.